folks, welcome back to the channel. It is new bike day. I mean that in more ways than one. This is the new, spelled NIUXQi3. This is a brand new bike, not even released yet, that New has sent me to test out and give my thoughts on. I have ridden it for about 30 minutes, so today is going to be the first day that we really give it a proper spin. All right, first things first, the bike is gorgeous. I am a humongous fan of the design. I love the white color. I love the look of the exposed motor. The rear suspension is not bolted directly to the rear swing arm. There's a linkage. So the first thing I thought when I got this bike and when I gave it a quick spin around the block is this is exactly between the Light B and the Ultra B in more ways than one. First off, let's just get on the bike. This is exactly what you get when you buy the bike brand new. It's a key fob. Here's our cockpit. Beautiful heads-up display. Big fan of that. Eco and sport mode with a little chirp. A headlight that you cannot turn off, but it has a high beam. Very nice. There's a kill switch for the motor right here. It doesn't turn the bike off, but it will disengage the throttle at any time. I'm assuming you put a lanyard on here. But to get it going, you squeeze the brake, press the green button, and you're ready. Okay, we are in eco mode. This is a 72 volt, 32 amp hour battery. Fully pinned in eco mode. This is what you can expect. This bike is brand spanking new. I mean, the tires are new, the brakes are not bedded in whatsoever, so we're not gonna be sending it too crazy today. I really don't want to crash on this thing, and that's very likely on these bikes when the tires are still like they have this kind of like grease on them. You got to get them dirty so that they kind of bed in. But we're just spinning it around some alleys in Westlake first. Tomorrow we're going to get in some dirt. The first thing you notice is that the suspension is super plush. I see that it uses KKE, the same suspension as the Light B and the Ultra B. I'm not sure exactly what the travel is on this bike, but it feels very soft and bouncy, so that's nice. Our speedo is in miles per hour out of the gate, which is nice. It's not kilometers per hour, so we are going to get past the stop sign. We're going to flip it into sport mode, and then we're going to pin it. Let's see how fast we can get up to on this thing. I've pinned it to a 40. We're still picking up speed. 45. 45, you start feeling the top end. And I would assume that it goes faster. It felt like it was still picking up speed a little bit, but we were already kind of topping out at 44. We're gonna go ahead and start an outdoor cycle on my watch just so we can get an idea of how much range, as in miles, we are traveling. So we got 97% now. Let's see with our quick ride what the battery's left at when we're done. So it's kind of tough to give a judgment of the bike like this. The first thing I'll say is that the throttle is very nice. It's a very sensitive throttle. Ooh. Man, it's just a little too new right now. The tires are not giving me confidence. We just barely dodged a gigantic glass bottle. Did y'all see that? That could have ruined the ride before we even got started. Good thing I saw that out of the corner of my eye. Looks like we hit a electronic speed limit on that descent at 29 miles an hour. That seems to be where eco mode tops out, probably for legal reasons. So we'll go ahead and put it in sport mode just as we tool around in these alleys. The bike definitely picks up from the start nice and quick. You like that? Okay, so I was saying this bike feels somewhere in between an Ultra B and a Light B. That is, I think, an extremely accurate depiction of this bike in size, in weight, in power, and in price. So this bike's gonna retail at $49.99 supposedly from New, and I believe you're gonna have to find one through a dealer. I'm not sure if they're gonna offer them on their website as a direct to consumer, so you'll have to ask around at your local motorsports shop. I assume if they sell a Suron, they'll be able to sell you one of these as well. Lots of you know, motorsports shops are selling Surons, Ultra Bs now, so I would figure if you can find one of those at your local shop, you'll probably be able to get one of these soon. So 72 volt 32 amp hour battery. Nowadays if you buy a brand new Suron, it either comes with a 36 amp hour or a 40 amp hour battery, and that's at 60 volts. So for most people, that's going to be good for around 30 miles of riding. I mean, there's no way nowadays to tell. I feel like all manufacturer claims on range on these e-bikes are just wildly inconsistent. So the only way to actually find out is through testing and looking online for people like me who actually get out and ride them. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do today. It's going to be a mix. Turn the corner and pin it right here. Ooh. I felt the back end wash out a little bit. That was kind of frightening. I don't know if it's why it feels like that. It just kind of felt like it was about to slip away from me, but not in a power way, almost in like a loss of traction way. I take it it's because these tires are so new. This is the same thing I felt when I tested out a different e-bike from another manufacturer. The rear end felt like very wobbly, and I think it's just because of the tires. But we're also not going to set it too hard because full power brakes. When you have these tires brand new and the brakes not bed in whatsoever, that guy just blew right through the stop sign, man. Crazy. Got to be careful out here. Yeah, so I never advise anyone to buy one of these e-motos and ride it in the streets the first day that you get it. Take it out of the box, get it in some dirt, take it off-road for a day, and try and put at least, like, I don't know, 30 miles on it before you even get in some street environments where you have unpredictable drivers and cars that don't know what they're doing. I'm just a moron, so, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Got some couches over here. Oh, I thought I was about to clip the bars. That was a little stupid. So yeah, the bike definitely feels more like the Light B when you're sitting on it, but it has it's very heavy. I gotta say, I have a decent amount of muscle mass. I work out every single day. I had trouble putting this into my SUV. Now that's just general information about the bike, so here's some things that I do like. One, I love the way it looks. We're gonna take a quick look at it again just so I can show you as I talk about this. The bike is gorgeous, man. There's no denying that. It is a good looking bike. Let's go ahead and turn the high beam on. It's not much higher, but you know, it's something. There are turn signals, so check this out. They also chirp. This is not something you can easily remove. There's a wire that goes here all the way through the frame, so if you want to take this off along with the turn signals and the rear brake, it's going to take a little bit of work. So you can assume that this is kind of the bike you're looking at if you bought one. You press that button to stop them. But this one over here is like a turbo button. It's like a boost. Let's give the boost a try. We're going to go over here on Alvarado and see how much faster we go with the boost. So we have Ultra Boost on. I don't know if you can see that right there. We're in sport mode. So we're going to see how this feels right here. Oh yeah, there's definitely a little bit more pep in the beginning. Oh, you feel it right there. Let's go ahead and pin it a little bit. We're going straight into traffic. Hitting 40, 41. It kind of feels like we're topping out already there. We were going uphill as well though, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Jumpable? It is jumpable. It's not nearly as light and flickable as the Light B, but you can definitely get some airtime with this thing. Oh man, dude, these tires, they're too new, man. They're way too new. We're in Ultra Boost again, going uphill. I mean, it feels pretty good going uphill even in the Ultra Boost. We're definitely cooking. It's very nice to have turn signals out here, especially when you ride in traffic. Ugh. Yeah, we're in eco. One thing I do like about the eco mode is that from a stop, like say if we're stopped right here, you can get out of eco mode pretty quick. Like it pulls up. It pulls up the front end, like immediately. So that's interesting. I actually kind of like it though. The eco mode, like in the Light B, is very sluggish. It is just slow, and it's pretty much unusable. I don't know anyone who rides their Light B ever in eco mode, because once you get used to sport mode, well, it's pretty much perfect. You can control the throttle, and if you want to go slow, you can easily go slow in sport mode, but when you're in eco mode, you're just a snail. So this is nice if you did actually just want to stay in eco mode. You have a nice pep from like 0 to 15 miles an hour. You get there pretty much immediately. First impressions, now we're about an hour into riding this bike from where I rode around my home in Valencia. Here's my initial thoughts. The alarm, annoying, get rid of it. Let's go ahead and give it one more Ultra Boost. Oh yeah, we're actually cooking. The suspension is incredible. I'll say that, the suspension is fantastic. The Ultra Boost still lasts. Okay, there's like bars. So once the bars run out, I guess that's when the Ultra Boost is done. We're gonna cook through this alley right here in front of us, and that's gonna be the last of it for today. Hey, how you doing? This thing's so cool, huh? Yeah. You like it? Hey man, this could be yours. yeah. Hey, you have a good one, man. All right, let's go ahead and sneak around. Let's go ahead and pin it down. Oh my God, that bucked me. What the heck was that? Oh. We gotta dodge that glass again. There it is. This alley's kind of wild right now. Oh yeah. That's a solid 44 miles an hour, maybe 45 we hit right there. That's probably the fastest we're gonna get on this thing in these back streets. Any faster, and not too smart to be going that fast out here. Power feels good for a 72 volt, you know. I mean, it really is perfectly situated right in between the Light and the Ultra B, because right now, as far as I know, you still can't find a Light B for less than $4,400 unless you know where to look, if you catch my drift, which comes with its own set of risks. And you can't get an Ultra B for less than $6,500 before tax unless you know where to look, if you catch my drift. So this is 5,000 bucks. It's right in between in pretty much every way, in price, and looks, and capability, and weight. I mean, it's like literally the halfway point. If you think maybe an Ultra B is too much bike for you, I think it is for a lot of people, although it's nice to have, and that's a nice sunset as well. And the Light B is just not enough for a lot of people. For me, it's good. for a lot of people, they get a light B and they immediately are desiring more. We're using our turn signals like a proper, you know, commuter. I love that. So yeah, that's my quick city riding thoughts on the new XQi3. New is a big brand as far as selling scooters. That's what they're known for currently. They have a pretty robust electric scooter line. So this is but their first foray into e-bikes, and I gotta say, they did pretty damn good for the first one, man. They really nailed a lot of things. There's really not that much to not like about this bike, and the fact that it's $49.99 is, I mean, that is a lot of money still. You guys gotta remember, these bikes are still expensive, but when you compare it to what else is, you know, still expensive as well, like a Light B or an Ultra B, it's really not a bad value proposition. Now, the main thing is gonna be how much range do we have left after this short little spin we did, where we're pulling it non-stop. We did the Ultra Boost. So yeah, who's looking for this bike? I say someone who wants something that feels much more like a moto, more affordably than most of the other solid options out there. I mean, even 2 years later, there's still not that many options unless you want a Talaria, which you know what you're getting with one of those, pretty much a beefed up Light B. And you have the Ultra B, which is still like the top of the range, even though they're not that fast. But this does it at a little bit cheaper, a little bit more compact. I was able to fit it in my SUV relatively easily. It wasn't nearly as much of a chore as the Ultra B would be. That's gonna do it for the city ride though. Tomorrow we're gonna do a little bit of exploring in the valley. We're gonna be mainly on the dirt, not crazy off-road, but just like a little path. So stay tuned for that. Throw this in for reference. We're at 78% after that quick spin. We did 4.6 miles average speed, 11 miles, 300 almost feet of climbing. I'd say this is very accurate. Usually my watch is more accurate than Strava, but so about 5 miles, 300 feet of climbing, 20% battery. Not quite, because we started at 97% down to 78. All right, next day we're out here in North Hollywood, California. What we got going on here? So this is not any type of proper off-road, but there is a little path around here that we will check out. First thing you notice is the bike is making a bunch of noise from this thing. The first thing I am going to do, since I'm keeping this bike, is take this off. If you're gonna like make it street legal, you'd want to have this, but I already broke this bracket putting it in my SUV. You're supposed to take that right off. Another thing I'm noticing is that the bike, since it's pretty heavy, it's about 160 pounds, I want to say, with the battery put in, I feel like it needs a slightly thicker rear wheel. Like a 16-19 setup would be perfect for this bike straight out of the box, but I think that's why it's got that, like, it kind of has like a wobbly feeling in the rear. Like it feels like it's wobbling around a little bit, and I have a feeling it's because the bike is just a little too heavy for the size wheel in the rear. Let's see if we can still get back here, right here. Yes, we can. The NoHo Trail lives on. This is one way to get to it. We got to do this little loop around right here. So this is just a little dirt path, but if this bike can live through this, then, you know, I hope it can. This is the, look at that bike frame, just abandoned. This is the bare minimum of off-road. Man, there's a bunch of crap on here now. Last time I came through here, we were able to just tear through this. Now I'm watching out for booby traps. We were in sport mode. It does feel good. Oh. We got to get around here. This is where we'd run into some sketchiness if we did. Big pile of sticks right there. So far, so good. Hopefully we don't run into a dog. There's a random chair. That's ominous. Bike felt pretty good in the dirt. I mean, that clearly is not any type of serious off-road, but not bad. Not bad at all. Ooh. Okay, there's a little bit of off-roadage. You got the shopping cart lineup right here. NoHo's finest. You know, sights and sounds. I mean, even though the back end feels like strangely wobbly, it's still planted. The bike is, I don't feel like I'm losing traction. So that's even weirder. It's like, it's moving around a little bit, but I'm digging in and I'm hitting the throttle as I'm kind of carving through the dirt. And I don't feel like I'm losing stability at all. How you doing, brother? You definitely have that greasy film of whatever comes on the tires off, but yeah, it's weird. I don't really know how to describe it. It's not like I'm completely losing traction, but it doesn't feel perfect. Ooh. I think it may also have something to do with how plushy the suspension is. Maybe it's a little too plushy. Maybe it needs to be firmed up a little bit. All right, we got one more semi dirt path we could at least fly down real quick, just so we can get a little bit more dirt action. Ooh, got a duck right there. And we're gonna take this side. At least we can open it up right here. Let's hit the turbo switch too. Ultra boost. I don't know if we're in ultra boost or if it's ready. I think it is ultra boosted. We're definitely going a little faster than we just were. Some noise. Sounds like the front brake maybe bedding itself in. This is now accessible too, so we can keep going. Last time I came through here, you couldn't go through here. It looks like you still really can't. We can at least swing it open so we can get through. Okay. Stock wheels are good enough. Oh God, that didn't feel good. Yeah, the stock tires are good enough. And you gotta watch out on these paths. You gotta see that big chunk of glass. That's 2 for 2. 2 days in a row I dodged gigantic glass bottle chunks. Oh my God. Can you carve that? Bike's a little too heavy to do like little free ride carves like you can on the Light V. I mean, you can, it's just a little weird. It's just kind of weird. I don't feel very centered. Oh. Okay, there's that. We could also go this way, I think. You gotta be careful sending it down this way. I remember there's like little drops. Okay, let's hit this. Now we're in a lap timer. This button gives you a lap timer, which I think is funny. I mean, it's cool if you are going to be on motocross tracks all the time, but you know, I think most people are not. All right, we're ultra boosted. The funny thing is, like, oh yeah, this is what I was talking about. This right here. That's enough to screw up your day. When you're in ultra boost, then it just feels like how it's supposed to feel. Like that, then it just feels like a proper 72 volt bike. And I know this cat named Langdon, he has a Sur-Ron that is just absolutely outrageously fast. Oh, let's jump over that. And it is a monster. It is the fastest bike I've ever ridden by far. It is just deadly fast. And this, when it's in that ultra boost, it starts to sort of feel like that. It's not anywhere remotely as fast as his, but you know, a 72 volt bike should feel very quick, and you start to feel that in the ultra boost. But when you're in regular sport mode, it's almost like somewhat nerfed. If you're a speed demon, you're gonna just want to be in ultra boost all the time, so you're gonna just be hammering that switch constantly, which I'm sure they anticipate. And I don't think it's the biggest deal that you have to constantly. Oh, what did we just hit? I think I hit that glass bottle I was trying to avoid. Whoops. Yep. Like we never left. Oh. All right, some roots. But I mean, overall, for the price point, I think there's way more to like about this bike than there is to nitpick about. You can find nitpicks about just about anything, but I think there's really not much else besides the raw Mantis, which is a 72 volt 35 amp hour bike. As far as I know, at that $49.99 price point, that's it. There's nothing else at 72 volt that you can just buy straight out of the box and just ride without upgrading the controller and the battery. I still think it's a really good overall package, what you get for your money. On day 3 riding it, you start to notice a few more of the flaws, but overall I think they're just minor in the overall scheme of things. It's really nice that you can easily make it street legal. That's still something that you don't really have with a lot of these e-bikes. It's still kind of a pain if you buy a Sur-Ron Light B or Ultra B to make it street legal easily. So that is a nice little perk. Besides that, I'm going to shred backwards through this path that we started on as we duck and dodge the elements of life in Los Angeles. Ooh, barely missed that. That probably would have sliced my pants open. That was a sharp looking steak. Holy crap. Oh, let's go. No, but this is a lot of fun, man. I'm trying to give you guys as much objective knowledge about the bike as I'm just also having fun. Look at what's going on over there, man. It's crazy. So, you know, don't forget that I'm also having a blast. I want to make that very clear. I'm having a lot of fun riding this bike. We got to get over this part. I hate this part. I don't know why I always come this way. Oh, it's a challenge with any bike. This one actually did it pretty easily, considering that it has a little bit of heft to it. And we're done. All right, so we got a nice little feel of this bike on and off-road. What do you guys think? If you want to check out more about this bike, it's the first link in the description. Thanks to New for sponsoring this video, and for giving me an XQi3 of my own to keep. Pretty excited to give this thing a little bit more testing in the field as the weeks go on. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me, folks. Thanks for watching as always. Have a great day. Peace out.